When St Andrews Hospice opened, it was as a result of the dream of my predecessors, the Sisters of Charity who had gone before me. And in the late 1970s, these sisters, together with a band of enthusiastic volunteers, sought to sow the seed of the hospice. The dream of the Sisters of Charity is to provide care, and our foundress, Mary Aikenhead, who founded the order way back 2 centuries ago, was compelled and felt passionate about alleviating the sufferings of the people at that time.
Working at St Andrews Hospice gives a completely different dimension to patient care, simply because we have the autonomy to run our service as we feel the patients require it.
They were compassionate, they were just fantastic. We felt as if we were part of my mum's next step in her journey rather than a hindrance. The support we received was just invaluable. The nurses had so much time.
I was very impressed by the level of medical and nursing care that was provided in the hospice. But I was even more impressed in some ways by the willingness of the doctors to discuss things with me in detail. My family had a wedding in here. My son and his fiancée at that time decided that they wanted their mum to be present at the wedding, and so they brought forward the ceremony. Now that's one of the very special days in my life, but what impressed me about the whole thing was that I wasn't sure how the hospice would react to my request, and what they did was they overreacted. Suddenly it became the hospice's wedding as well as my son's wedding, and that was a great occasion where the hospice provided everything that was required. We had the ceremony in the chapel, and we then had a reception, small reception, but a reception in one of the conservatories.
I think we've become a focus in Lanarkshire for good palliative care in its most holistic sense.
From those early days when only 4 beds were open, to see it today operating as a 30-bedded unit, it has grown enormously over the time.
I'm told that the latest figure is something like £65,000 per week to keep the hospice running at its present level.
Every single patient in here is relying on donations from local people, doing their charity events, their walks, their sponsorships, coming along to events. People in the hospital rely solely on that. To put a price on that care is just, you can't actually do it.
Everyone must appreciate the existence of the hospice, appreciate why it's here and what it does, and play their part in contributing towards a successful hospice for the future.
I'm Elaine C. Smith. You'll have heard from all the other contributions just how wonderful St Andrews Hospice is, and you'll also have realised the vital work that it does within this community, providing wonderful care for this whole area and across Lanarkshire. Most people throughout Lanarkshire and the west of Scotland will know of St Andrews Hospice anyway, and the work that's done here. But members of my family, especially my father, were cared after here just so wonderfully. Anyone you talk to will have an emotional connection, I think, with this place. Obviously, this doesn't come cheap. There's a lot of work goes in, a lot of fundraising has to happen to ensure that these vital services go out across the community and they get to keep going in the future. So if you want to get involved, do anything you can, whether it's just having a raffle or a coffee morning, joining It's a Knockout, being involved in something greater that you can actually keep the funding coming in for this vital resource. If we want St Andrews Hospice to continue and give this care and also to get better and stronger in the years to come, then we have to do as much as we can. I hope you'll join us.